Ego and vanity are in vain. Once my master lived in a holy place of Himalayas called Tungnath. On the way to see him, I stopped at a mountain shrine called Karnaprayaga. A great renowned Swami named Prabhat Swami lived in a cave near the shrine, so I went to visit him. I was being trained to be a Swami at that time. I greeted him according to our tradition. He was seated on a blanket which had been folded into quarters, and a few villagers were seated before him. I expected him to offer me a seat beside him. I was still suffering from an inflated ego, at least partly because people in the villages of India respect and bow before a Swami. This feeds the ego and creates many problems for a Swami in training. Prabhat Swami knew my problems. He smiled and said, "Please take care of your seat. Please take your seat." I asked, "Could you please unfold your blanket so I can sit next to you?" I insisted, but he just laughed at me. I asked, "Why don't you let me sit next to you?" I was quite conceited and impolite. He quoted the dialogue between Rama and Hanumana in the Yoga Vasishta and said, "Eternally, we are one and the same. But as human beings, you are still a servant and I am your master." Modern man tries to have the position of a master without attaining anything. Then he gave me a lesson saying, a man went to see a master who was seated on a high platform teaching many people. The man held a distinguished position in society, so he chafed at being treated like all the rest of the students without getting a special attention. He went up to the master and asked, "Sir, can I sit on the same platform with you?" The master said, "You should know the role of a student as well as the role of a master." The man asked, "Sir, what are the duties of a student?" The master explained, "A student cleans shops, washes dishes, cooks food, prepare and purified himself and serves his master." Then the man asked, "And what does a master do, sir?" "A master teaches. He doesn't do any of the menial work." "Why can't I become a master without doing all of this?" asked the man. "The menial work has nothing to do with my learning how to teach." The master said, "No, you will be hurting yourself and hurting others. You have to understand from the very beginning that the spiritual path can tolerate everything but ego. Ego places a veil between the aspirant and the process of learning. When one becomes egocentric, he isolates himself and thus is not able to communicate with his teacher and conscience and does not follow the instructions of teacher. Such an ego needs immense austerities and modifications without which all knowledge drains away.